India rejects tariff threat from Trump. Russia continues its threats toward the West, and Ukraine is preparing to receive a new shipment of American-made weapons. My name is Sofiia Nazarenko, and here are today's top headlines. The Netherlands will supply a new package of US-made weapons to Ukraine. This is the first such support package delivered through the prioritized Ukraine requirements list, a new framework based on agreement between Volodymyr Zelenskyy, Donald Trump and Mark Rutte. According to Dutch Defense Minister Ruben Brekelmans, Kyiv will receive missiles and key components for the Patriot air defense system. The €500 billion package is aimed at strengthening Ukraine's air defense systems. The delivery timeline has not been disclosed. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has already thanked partners for their support.
I am sincerely grateful to the Netherlands for their significant contribution to strengthening the Ukrainian air shield, for discussing this with Prime Minister Dick Schoof. The €500 million package is American weapons, including Patriot missiles. The first such step among NATO countries, and at a time when Russia is trying to scale up its strikes. This will definitely help protect the lives of our people.
NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte welcomed the decision and called on other allies to follow this example. He said that more announcements on weapons transfers could be expected in the coming days.
Great to see the Netherlands taking the lead and funding the first package of U.S. military equipment for Ukraine under NATO's Prioritized Ukraine Requirements List initiative. I thank allies for getting Ukraine the equipment it urgently needs to defend against Russian aggression. I expect further significant announcements from other allies soon.
The Prioritized Ukraine Requirement List is a NATO-coordinated mechanism aimed at delivering US-made weapons and systems to Ukraine fast. Its goal to provide large-scale military support directly from the United States to strengthen Ukraine's position and help to create the conditions for a just and lasting peace. Russia will no longer comply with the moratorium on the deployment of land-based intermediate and shorter-range missiles. According to a statement from the Russian Foreign Ministry, Moscow says it no longer considers itself bound by the moratorium because its self-resistant initiatives were not reciprocated. The decision, they claim, comes in a response to what they call a US military build-up of such missiles, including their deployment to European countries like Denmark and Germany. The ministry also pointed to US deliveries of HIMARS artillery systems to Ukraine as a threat to Russia.
The Russian Foreign Ministry's statement on the withdrawal of the moratorium on the deployment of medium and short-range missiles is the result of NATO countries' anti-Russian policy. This is a new reality all our opponents will have to reckon with. Expect further steps.
Meanwhile, former Russian president and the current deputy chair of the Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, is issued yet another statement, this time with new threats. Dmitry Medvedev has once again issued aggressive threats toward the West, even though, following his previous statements, US President Donald Trump ordered the deployment of 2 nuclear submarines near Russian shores. Yet, even that show of force seems insufficient to deter Medvedev from escalating his rhetoric. India has sharply responded to Donald Trump's threat to raise tariffs. US President Donald Trump has made another bold statement, this time accusing India of profiting from cheap Russian oil while failing to support international efforts to end the war in Ukraine. He's once again threatening to raise tariffs on Indian goods. While Trump didn't name an exact figure, expectations are that the current 10% rate could jump to 25% as early as this Thursday. Trump made these remarks in a post on his social media platform, Truth Social.
They don't care how many people in Ukraine are being killed by the Russian war machine. Because of this, I will be substantially raising the tariff paid by India to the USA.
India has already responded to Trump's remarks and is questioning the logic behind the pressure. Officials in New Delhi say they don't understand why India should stop trading with Russia, especially when both the US and the EU continue such cooperation. According to India's Ministry of External Affairs, EU-Russia bilateral trade reached 67.5 billion euros in 2024, covering not only energy, but also fertilizers, chemicals, metals, machinery, and transport equipment. Meanwhile, the United States still imports hexavalent uranium for its nuclear industry, palladium for electric vehicles, as well as chemicals and fertilizers from Russia. India is now openly questioning what it calls double standards.
India has been targeted by the United States and the European Union for importing oil from Russia after the commencement of the Ukraine conflict. In fact, India began importing from Russia because traditional supplies were diverted to Europe after the outbreak of the conflict. The United States at that time actively encouraged such imports by India for strengthening global energy market stability.
Germany has deployed 5 Eurofighter jets to Poland just 4 weeks before large-scale joint military drills between Russia and Belarus, known as Zapad 2025. Zapad meaning West in Russian. According to German outlet Bild, all 5 jets are expected to arrive today, a clear signal of NATO's solidarity and readiness to defend its eastern flank. The fighters will support German troops already stationed near Rzeszów in southern Poland, where 2 Patriot air defense systems are actively protecting the airspace. Some 150 German soldiers, along with the command and security units, were deployed to Poland back in late July. All of this a direct response to Russia and Belarus planning Zapad 2025 military exercises for September. The Baltic states and NATO allies are preparing for any scenario, paying special attention to the Suwalki Gap, a narrow corridor considered crucial for Europe's security. Ukrainian drones strike Russian airbase in Crimea. 5 fighter jets hit and 1 was completely destroyed. The security service of Ukraine reported a significant strike against Russian forces at the Saki air base in occupied Crimea overnight from August 3rd to 4th. According to SBU, Ukrainian drones target 5 Russian fighter jets and an aviation weapons depot. Among the destroyed aircraft was one Su-30SM fighter jet, which was completely wiped out. Another Su-30SM was damaged and 3 Su-24 jets were also hit.
The successful SBU special operation in Saki is another step towards weakening the enemy's ability to wage a war of aggression against Ukraine. The occupiers should remember that they will never feel safe on our land.
The SBU say the Saki air base is a key Russian military hub for operations in the Black Sea region. A single Su-30SM jet is estimated to cost between 35 and 50 million US dollars, representing a significant loss for the Russian military. That's all for today's news. We'll keep following these developments and bring you updates as they come. If you find this useful, please like, share, subscribe to know more.